Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is your 3 News Now update. Stephanie is off this week, so we will be bringing you all the latest headlines from WKYC and the 3 News app. We have a lot to cover today, so let's jump right into it. Our first story, hundreds of Northeast Ohio students are quarantining. Last week, 3 News broke the news that several students within the Willoughby East Lake School District have tested positive for COVID-19. Since then, we have found out that the entire district will go virtual and all buildings will be closed. Recently, the Mayfield School District is the newest addition to the list. More than 260 students and staff were placed on quarantine this week. Other places in Northeast Ohio, Bay Village Schools, a positive COVID-19 test was confirmed at one unspecified building in a letter that was distributed to parents and staff back on October 5th. That person is going to quarantine until they are no longer infected. At Lake Catholic High School, close contacts quarantined. The number is not disclosed after COVID-19 impacts one person associated with the football team. Meanwhile, 2 students have tested positive at the within the Parma City School District. And at Kent State University, 110 students at Fletcher Hall have been told to quarantine. You can read more about the situation on WKYC.com. Our next story. Today, the Senate confirmation hearings have begun for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. The highly controversial Senate confirmation hearing for President Trump's replacement for Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg began today at 9 a.m. Judge Amy Coney Barrett is currently talking with senators despite pushback from Democrats, as well as national polling that suggests that American people believe the next president should decide who puts a judge on the court. Notably, Judge Barrett has decided to wear a mask thus far. Republicans are calling Barrett a thoughtful judge with impeccable credentials. At this time, Republicans do appear to have the vote to confirm Judge Barrett. Our next story, a new poll shows that Joe Biden is ahead in Great Lakes states except Ohio. It is still a tight race here in the Buckeye State between President Donald Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden. A new Baldwin Wallace poll shows that President Trump holds a 2-point lead over Biden in Ohio. Not surprisingly, for the most part, considering that Ohio did go red in 2016 by more than 8 points. What is surprising, though, is that Biden's lead in every other Great Lakes state. In Pennsylvania, Biden holds a 5-point lead, in Wisconsin a 6-point lead, and in Michigan a 7-point lead. It's important to note that all of these states' electoral college votes did go to President Trump in 2016. Ohio is notorious for having voted for the winner in each year, so it will be interesting to see how this goes. Our next story, Biden making 2 stops in Ohio while Vice President Mike Pence is also stopping in Ohio today. Biden's campaign says he will give a speech about rebuilding the economy during a stop in Toledo at 1:15 p.m. Biden's team says the former vice president is then scheduled to speak at a voter mobilization event in Cincinnati at 5:45 p.m. Current Vice President Mike Pence is in Columbus right now, also campaigning. Last week, Joe Biden doubled down on campaign funding in Ohio and ads. On the opposite side, President Trump pulled out of ads last week here in the Buckeye State. Officials for the president's campaign cited that they believe at this time they will win Ohio. There's still 22 days until Election Day, though, as we have seen, anything can happen. Our next story, the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA championship last night. The kid from Akron, Ohio, is now a 4-time NBA champion. The Lakers won against the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals by a 4-2 margin in the series with a lot of help from hometown hero LeBron James. LeBron had a 28-point game to go along with 14 rebounds and 10 assists. It was an emotional roller coaster for many. Multiple players were wearing or sporting 24 gear in honor of Kobe Bryant, who passed away alongside his daughter Gianna in a helicopter accident earlier this year. It's an incredible end to a season that can only be described as wild and that was filled with many ups and downs. And then Our final story, Happy Victory Monday. The Cleveland Browns are 4-1. The Browns are 4-1 after a win over the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. The Browns won that game 32-23, and the game was a nail-biter from start to finish. Despite throwing 2 late interceptions, Baker Mayfield had 2 touchdowns in the first half to help pace the offense. The Browns defense also picked off Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers twice, including a 47-yard touchdown return by safety Ronnie Harrison. A low point of the game was when Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield was examined after a hit to his ribs. Mayfield, though, said he still plans to play next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers because mama didn't raise no wuss. And it has been 26 years since the Cleveland Browns last started a season 4-1. Here's what happened in 1994, the last time the Cleveland Browns were 4-1. Head coach Kevin Stefanski was just 12 years old. Brown star players Baker Mayfield and Myles Garrett weren't even born yet. Figure skater Nancy Kerrigan was attacked by rival Tanya Harding's ex-husband at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Hall of Fame running back O.J. Simpson was charged with murder for the death of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Although he was later acquitted of those charges, he was found liable in a civil suit. 3-time NBA champion Michael Jordan spent the year playing minor league baseball in the Chicago White Sox organization. The television show Friends debuted. Major League Baseball went on strike, leading to the cancellation of the World Series. Locally, Jacobs Field, now known as Progressive Field, opened in downtown Cleveland. And on the day that the Cleveland Browns beat the New York Jets to advance to 4-1 in that season, Boyz II Men's I'll Make Love to You was the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. That's going to do it today for today's 3 News Now update. I'm Ben Axelrod. Thanks for watching here on Instagram Live.